game of the season. How are you feeling? I mean, from training camp, from preseason, going into this, what is the mood?
Um, Vibe is good. We're not moody people, so we don't deal in moods. It's a vibe, you know. I think everybody's in good spirits. It's a lot to improve upon, a lot to do. We know it's a long season, but as you said, it gets real. So we are prepared.
Everyone talks about Westbrook's intensity, like even in practice, game doesn't matter. What do you see from first practice today? What does he bring to you guys?
Um, Leadership, intensity, um, a veteran voice, internal leadership, aggressiveness. Like there's so many different aspects of his game that are needed for our team and are needed for our players. Some of our veterans as well, and definitely our young players. They get to see what a pro does on a day-to-day basis, and it's about as valuable information as you can get. You can't purchase it. It's something that is in a person, and Russ has it in spades.
With Domas going down, just have you thought about what the rotation looks like? And probably Drew will probably take over in that first unit, but aside from that,
Well, first, he's not down.
okay, sorry, my
Okay,
apologies. Just
but he is slowed.
yes,
Okay,
sure.
he. I mean, we're going to work through it. I mean, you don't replace Domas. I mean, he does so many different things on the floor, first and foremost. So we'll see when we get down to Phoenix who dons the court first. It's really not about who starts. It's about who finishes, and it's about that we finish the game as victors. So whatever that means to figure that out, that's what we're here to do.
With the addition of Russ and his familiarity with so many guys on this team, is there anything you kind of tap into that of his of all those things you kind of outlined that he brings to a team? Is there one that you kind of lean on more than the other, especially given that chemistry?
No, I think his value is immense. So you don't try to limit what he does. I mean, there are moments where it's his voice. Then there's moments where it's his actions. And then it's moments where he's pulling a young player aside or a veteran and talking to them about what's expected. So it's not like as simple as, okay, we're just focusing on this one thing. He brings so many different things, and it's kind of similar to how he plays. I mean, he rebounds, he scores, he defends, he pushes the ball, he creates gravity. So it's no different. It's very similar to, how you look at him live his life. And that is a blessing for all of us here in Sacramento.
Have you been surprised by Neek at all? Is there anything that's jumped out to you just watching his game?
Um, I mean, it would be hard pressed to say, no, he hasn't surprised me. I mean, watching him once we drafted him, we got to work out with him the prior year, so got to see him. And then once we got him in a Sacramento Kings uniform, watching him in the summertime, immediately I was surprised by the reads that he made. Not all young players come off of a pick and roll and they're reading their progressions like a quarterback, and he's like pocket, low man, corner, and then he's even reading the guy that's behind him. Like those are high level things. We drove down the other night and he took the defense, brought him to him, and then dropped it off to Dario on the baseline. So probably that aspect of his game, but there's a part of him that doesn't really get rattled, and he just kind of plays his game. And I talked to him about, don't feel overwhelmed. Just go out there, play extremely hard, and we're gonna learn together. Like, don't worry about it. I got you. And just watching him do his business and he does his film work. Encourage him to talk to DeMar, Zach, Dennis, and now Russ. Like that is corporate knowledge that for him is like a PhD, master's degree, all in one. He just has to be willing to take the information in, and he is, to his credit as a young player.
Speaking of the rookies, how do you feel like they did in that talent show on Saturday?
Wow, it's high level, man. Like, listen, that surprised me. Okay, you want to be surprised? I was like, oh boy, Dylan on and off the court, he is surprising me. Yes.
Not Max jumping up on you and Patrick Beverly?
Yeah, I was more worried about the children that were down low, to be honest with you. But yeah, all of them, like it's one thing to be comfortable, and then to, some people don't like to do that, but be willing to, show yourself in a different light. It just speaks to what type of teammates they are.
And the things that your team will be known for this season, how big of an ingredient do you feel chemistry will be at the top of that list?
I think it's huge because there are parts of everyone's game that, like, we have to give of to help the next person. Running the floor to open something up, setting good screens to open someone up, making from good to great passes, communicating on the defensive end, making that extra play, next play speed, not crying to the referees. Like, there are a lot of different things that for us to be the team that we will be, we have to go through all of those progressions. So one by one, we have to do it. And then you have to do it consistently after you do it once.
Up to this point, what stood out to you about Drew Eubanks' game and what he brings?
Drew, like, his ability to run, I think he's a little bit more athletic than we all think. And I told him, like, all rebounds need to be yours. The physicality and the force that we want him to play with, like, all those different aspects. And now, I mean, with Domas possibly being out, like, you're going to have to step in and make sure that first and foremost, we feel you on the defensive end. We feel your gravity running the floor and flattening out the defense, all those things. And he's highly capable of doing them all.
Looking into, as a former player, I guess, looking down at the beginning of a long season, basketball is a very physical sport. What do you, and maybe what do you instill in your players on like how to keep up their intensity throughout the course of a long season? Basketball is kind of uniquely physical and a lot of games.
See, I personally, like, maybe from the outside looking in, that's how people look at it. But when you do this for a living, you got to stay in the moment. You can't look like, oh man, we got 15 games and 25. You just can't do it. Like, you will just be a mental, it's tough. So you have to stay in the moment. We are playing Phoenix. We will be a first quarter. There will be a second quarter. There will be a halftime in the third quarter, and we need to stay there, present, in the moment, feet on the ground, not thinking about anything else. And then we need to replicate that and do it again. That's the consistency of a professional, and that's what we want for our guys. So I get it, like, it is all of that you say, but at the same time, like, you can't miss the forest for the trees. You got to make sure that you are locked into what it is that we are doing in that present moment as a team, 1 through 15, no matter what, 24 seconds at a time. And if we do that, that is what gives you the best opportunity to not only win, but just to compete in this league.
Coach, 206, Game 7 tonight.
Yes, sir.
Be able to watch?
Wish I was there. Super happy for the M's. Been a long time. You never know what happens in these moments. So for us, I got my fingers crossed. 206 always, gentlemen. All right, y'all.